So, hi everybody and welcome back. This is Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 38 and in this video we are continue with our animation because we need a jump animation. And a jump animation we will create a little bit different from the default one, but step by step. And let's get started. First of all, oops, this is Uphill Warrior. Yeah, let's go first to our animations folder. Let's go to animation blueprint and open up our animation. I have prepared here a little bit. Let me go this one here. I have prepared here a little bit what we have to do, but we will do this step by step just to show you the difference between the default one and what we are going. We are going to do only this here, and the default one has created something like this, which looks less, but in real this one is a little bit more because they use here more features. For example, they use this aliasing or what is this called. You can right click it and here is the add stat aliasing. This one, they use this one so they can connect to other points from this point. This is just a connection point, something like that. What I mean with that is, for example, this falling here, when I click on it, oops, let me click on it, and you can see it says here state aliasing and then here locomotion. From here you can go to jump and falling, then from land, which is this one, you can go to jump and fall loop 2. And that means is because if you double click on this one, there is nothing. It is just you can think about it just a reroute node for positions, right? And the same goes for this one here. And they use a little bit more tricks. For example, when I go here in locomotion, they have something like that cache locomotion. And then it opens this up and then it jumps here on the top. And this is the thing what we have so far, right? This is our start point where we start. And when I go here a little bit back, let me click this away and go here a little bit back. And they have even a little bit more things here, which makes the whole thing easier probably. And this is this land animation here. So you can see here they are using this cached locomotion as a base. We will use this one too, but not this cached here. So that said, now that's a little bit more. Once I think you have to go and research this on your own, because we can't cover here all things in animation. That there is so much to cover actually. We are beginners, we need just the basic, and this what I made here now, I'm in my animation blueprint now, works too. And it's simple. And yes, but I don't know if it's perfect like the default one, but this one works and that counts for us. So let's get started. How we start to make this work. First of all, let's start from scratch, which means you have, if you watched the last video, you should be at this point here. So first of all, a jump animation, what we have to know is not one animation. That's very interesting because normally we learned all time a walk animation is one walk, a run animation is one animation, but a jump animation is actually a sequence of 3 animations to complete a jump. It has a start jump, then in air jump, and then the land jump. And all the 3 you need to create one jump. But that's a little bit strange, but it is so. We just take it and we put just these 3 animations here in our scene. So we have here a jump. That's good. I want to start to jump. Then we have let's see what we have here else. Then anything in air, for loop. It is called here for loop, not in air. It is called a for loop, which means I'm in the air actually. And then we have something land. And this one is the land. And when we click now this animations, let me show you this one here fast. So this is the jump start. Here, this is the first. Then let me go back. This one, for loop, is when we are in the air later. We jump started, then we are in the air. And then, let me go again back. And then we landed after. Of course, you can use these animations also for other purposes. That's very nice. I will mention something very interesting later on. But we know for our jump, we need 3 states. We can use them. Perhaps there is even another way to create this jump in one animation, perhaps, and so on. But then you are limited to certain circumstances, like you can't control what happens in the air, and you can't do other things. With this 3, you can control your jump even more. I think that's the reason why you have your 3 jump states. So let's get started. So we have our animations. It was easy. We put them here on a scene, and now we have just to connect them actually. So where we have to start to connect them. First of all, before we connect them, let's write here a comment that these are jumps, right? These are only right, and we learned how to write a comment. Right click and here in the scene, and then we can create comment section and say here jump made with 3 animations. Of course, you can describe it a little bit more. I don't waste here too much time with commenting. Let me go back. Oh, not here. And yeah, a little bit more descriptive. You can write here like jump start animation, jump air animation, and jump land animation, something like that. So let me finish this comment here. Okay, we have this. So we have jump made with 3 animation, and now we have to connect this. We learned also how to connect this. We click here on our idle state. This is our state within which we are, and I want go to jump start, and we have to define here a condition. So what condition we need for a jump start is actually that one we watch here from this one. And here, when I go from locomotion, which is here, to jump, I can click here, double click. Oh, we need here something like this whole stuff here. I copy this just one and explain you what this is, because we need the same thing here. Copy, paste, drag in, but you will have here a problem when you compile. And your problem, I have already made it, we will change this in a moment, is we have not this acceleration here. This one is an acceleration vector. We have to create it. But actually, we are not creating it here. But of course, you can create it here too. But we have changed our animation blueprint. So I mean our event graph. We jump here on graphs to our event graph. We go on top, and I said at the beginning we don't need this velocity, right? Right now we need it, and what you have is probably something like get velocity, like oops, velocity. Here's no, we have a set velocity here. Why? Oh, not velocity. And what you have here probably is just that you have here a get vector length. Ah, that one you have. Vector length. Where is that? Anyway, you have something like without this one. What you have to do is you have to disconnect what you have here, because I don't remember what we had there. We had just this one without this one. Let me disconnect this one fast. And then you had probably something like so. And yeah, I think this was that what you had, right? And now you can just disconnect this one. Then you can right click here, promote to variable, and write, and then you have this velocity variable here. But the problem is, of course, we have, if you promote this to a variable, disconnect, well, if you press Alt and click a pin, then you disconnect them. Then you have set this here and connect this here, and then we have this one here, and use this velocity here to connect this one here. Is this all right? I don't know what I made, but I think yes, it is right. And then you connect this pin to this pin, and we have changed this one. So we just get this velocity node, which we had not before, which I said probably we don't need that. And if we had not this node 2, I'm not sure. I think we had this one. Okay, I think till this point should be now the same, something like that. Yes, I hope so. So, and then you can compile. Then, yeah, it works still not, right? We have to go back to our graph, to our locomotion graph, and click here again. Now, what you can do is grab the velocity, because we created now the variable, but it looks like this one, right? Then you can right click this pin, and then you go here, split pin, and then you connect this one here. And of course you can copy this one, or you can create this all things. And I think is falling we have set up. Let me check fast if we set up is falling in our graph. No, we have another problem. The next problem is here. That's good, because we have set not this falling up, right? So let's and we can this variable set up as well here in our event graph. And for that we add here a pin. We had 2. Let's add with a plus sign here. You add a pin. Now in the sequence, what you are going to do is get the character movement, which we have in components, and we made a reference here. And then you go here to your character movements. Here in components, here is sometimes it's not open, so you can open this one here, and then you just drag and drop it here, get, and then you search this is falling property, like is falling. And after you have this one, you promote this again to variable, promote to variable, and call it's falling. So I already did all this kind of stuff here. And after you did this too, we have now access to this falling. We go back to our locomotion, we go back to our states. Now we have all the variables what we need here. Now you have this is falling, now you have this velocity, and now we can work. All other are given. So from the set you make a greater sign, then you write here the number 100. Where this one, it's just given, so we take it is falling, we just create it as a bool, perfect. And this one was for me nothing. Then is falling, you drag out, get, and then we make a AND AND logic, and we write here AND bool probably here. And then this AND logic, I try to explain, it will only be true because logic means all time at the bool means all time at the end will be true or false. No, also it says yes or no, and it will only say yes or no when both inputs say also yes. So for example, this one must be yes, and this must be here also yes. That's the thing. And if you have this one, we have created this start point. And the start point means just it checks here the velocity. For example, if we have a velocity over 100, because there is a little threshold, and is falling, is active. And this things we get from the movement component, so we have not to think much about here. But then we go back to our locomotion. That was it already, and we can already test it. Here we make a Q. All right, we can already test this one at this state. So we compile, we go here, we start our game. And now let's see if there is something happening. And I can walk, that was already there, but let's see if I can jump. Yes, I can jump. That's interesting. Because this one is expected that this one, it stays only in this situation. Let me start this one more time. Because this one should be only there. This is the only state which we have there. And we are trying to jump. And the reason why we are jumping here around is we have only transitioned to the state, but we have not go on, right? And let me show what I mean. So we are here, the idle state. And then we transition to this jump state, but it stays at this point. That's why we are all time in the air. And we have now go on a little bit. It tries all time this jump state over and over again, because this condition is here probably true. So what we do is we go then to the next state, is falling. Then we double click it. And in this case, it's very simple. We just check is falling. So we get here is falling. And you can drag and drop it directly in it too. And that's it. Compile, save. Let's test it again. Not. Okay, I walk. Perfect. Jump. Now I'm flying. And here is something what I want to tell you too. Some cool effects. Oh, let me go rid of this one perhaps. And you see this flying effect is actually very nice for later, and now I have a problem. I'm not even flying. Sometimes it's not transitioning perfect. But now this flying effect is very nice if you are creating, for example, a wizard or a lich or something like that who is flying around and casting then spells. Instead our warrior who is swinging axes and blades. You can make later something this here in this transition and then make a mage who is flying around and casting super spells. Bam, bam. This is cool. I think that one I will use for a character. But in this case, we are going on with our jump animation. So we are in the air and now I want land. So let's make here a transition. Again, from there, I just connect this one, and this one is also easy. And I just check this is falling again, but the opposite. First, I checked is falling true to get in the air, and now if it's not falling anymore, so I say here not boolean. I say I want now check if it's not falling anymore, right? And then I compile and save this. And now let's test this. We test this all the time because there are some strange things sometimes. And now I this up here. And this one is very tricky to solve later. Because the default one, this default section here, they solved it in a different way. And I will solve it also a little bit different. And that's the point where I add, now we go again to our locomotion, we will add here to our land animation something, another node. They used it also. It is called an additive. Okay, this here, apply mesh additive, apply additive, not mesh, just additive. And what this does is it will blend two animations, and in our case we want that this one is the one which should be blended, and to what we want to blend it is to idle. So this is just my solution which I want as a shortcut, because this is not the official solution, but this works for our little fast understanding, because if I try to explain now all the other kind of stuff, it takes too much time. But if we make this one, compile, save, this will blend now this animation from this test and idle together, and this alpha is set how it blends over. So let's test this. Let's go on. We have to test this out. Okay, let's see. All right, it's working, but we have a problem, right? It's working. We are not disappearing anymore. That's cool. We are going on bottom, but we are in the air. We are running. We are not really jumping, right? We want not that we jump and then walk in the air anyhow. We have to get rid of this animation. So how we are going to get rid of this animation is we go back to our animation graph again. And here we want, what we want there? We want, if we are in the air, let's see, before we are there, actually we have to go back actually, but this one works. But the other problem was when we are in the air. The problem with the air was we have to connect it from BS walk here, the same as from idle. So we have also to go from this state, from walk state, to the jump state, because this idle state is separate than the walk state. And here we are copying actually just the same thing here. Just copy this one, and this is the same state. This is just the I mean the same condition, but this different animation. Yeah, so what I mean with that, let me show this one again. Let's play this fast. So we have here, right now I'm idling, right? I can press jump, now I'm jumping. But then I have here a problem. We will fix this in a moment. And then when I'm walking, I can't walk now because I have this problem now. Okay, let's fix this now. Let's go to our locomotion. And the problem is here. We ended here, but we should come back again. Our jump animation is finished, but from this jump animation, we have to go to our idle animation again, or to another animation what you have defined. In our case, we go back to idle. So we make just here this back, and here we write, I think, it's falling, not again. Again, it's falling. I get here the same. It's just the same condition. Is falling. It's not falling. I'm on the. I landed already, and that's why I need again this not boolean, because this one is say is falling. No, I'm not. That's why I say not, and then this must be true, and then we can land. And this needed to be connected. So let's see if we have this one. I jump. Now it works. So this one is idle jump. That works. Looks good. Now let's walk. This looks good, I would say. It works. But there is probably, you could hear, it's almost, we are almost finished. And we could also do one more step to in our animation. We could, but I'm not sure why I should right now, which is, of course, you can go from land to walk run instead just to go to idle. You can test if you want, if there is a interference here between this one. So for example, it goes first to this point, idle, and then it goes directly to the next point, but I think we can't see it. And when we can't see it, why I should add here more things, right? So I mean, that works. I don't see the problem. And actually we realized now walk animation, jump animation, and the next time I will add here perhaps a fight animation. We have already a fight animation, which is even a very effective way, just a button click. Oh, like this one. But not very optimized, and the optimization, we will have to make this blends a little bit better. But we have this. We have created, I hope you understand all the basics now. The one more note is, of course, you can check now here the default character. The default character has a little bit more advanced stuff. So they use here a state machine, and they use this, what I already mentioned here, this state alias or whatever, this aliasing. And then they use also later this cached locomotion. So they have here another state machine which they are referred to, which is the basic. And this is just a little bit, probably make the whole thing look a little bit more easy. For example, at start it looks very difficult to understand, but later, after you understand this old stuff, it looks very easy, because this one looks easier than my graph here with all these arrows. And if I add here some more stats and make this bigger, then you have here on the whole screen so many arrows which will confuse you. But when you know then this aliasing and this referring with cached poses, that makes the whole graph much more easy. But this one we are not going to do, because this one is then going for too much for animation, because we want to continue. We have now learned a little bit about animation. We have understand you can create, of course, what you like and try out new animations, fight animation skill, talk animations, and whatever animations you have. Depends on the animations what you have here or what you want to get, and so on. So that said, I think for us I stop here, and in the next video I will work on our fighting skill a little bit. Perhaps we will come with effects, and so I don't know, perhaps a fight animation or effects. So see you in the next. Bye. And we are out.